Do you have a cigarette?
No.
Do you have a cigarette?
No.
And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek, joined by Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And Steve. If you have not figured it out, we are reviewing the cult classic Dawn of the Dead. But before we get into it, let's check out that trailer.
Yes, let's.
Shall we?
Might help if I click the right thing.
Click the button.
I clicked on YouTube instead of the... But it happens. All right, guys. Dawn of the Dead.
That is such.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time.
Not that room! Not that room! Not that room!
Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill. This situation must be controlled before it's too late. They are multiplying too rapidly.
Dawn of the Dead.
Meet me on the roof at 9 o'clock. Getting out.
I don't believe
We're
it.
gonna
What?
get out in the chopper. We've got to survive. Somebody's got to
Gotta
survive.
get in the
They kill
chopper.
for one reason. They kill for food.
Did that guy
They
not
eat their
look like
victims.
House?
Imagine, if you will, that something has gone terribly wrong.
Which guy?
The guy that did it, man.
Now,
main guy.
accept the fact that there's no escaping
Flyboy?
the horrible consequences. George Romero brings back the dead. Night of the Living Dead has ended.
I can't remember. his-
Dawn of the Dead is here.
I can't remember the name of that.
We must not be lulled by the
Savini.
concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not. They will not respond to such emotions.
Ricardo!
That guy right there, Hugh Laurie. He looks like Hugh Laurie.
Maybe a really young
It's everywhere.
Hugh.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Looks like a shopping center, one of those big indoor malls.
What are they doing? Why do they come here?
Some kind of instinct, memory of what they used to do. This was an important place in their lives.
Weirdest makeup ever.
We've got a war.
Shoot him!
I'm afraid.
We have spawned our own savagery. Soon it will consume us all. It is a horrible, hauntingly
There he
accurate
is,
vision
Savini.
of the mindless
Yeah.
excesses of a society gone mad.
Oh, spoiler alert in the trailer, my god.
When there is no more room in hell.
Wow!
the
That's a
dead
big fucking
will
spoiler in the
walk
goddamn
the
trailer.
Down to the line,
Right?
folks. We are down to the line.
Dawn
They shouldn't have
of the
shown that
dead.
at least.
No shit.
Spoiler alert.
I know, right? Spoiler alert.
40 years later.
Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this movie?
Made in 1978, written, directed, edited, done all by George A. Romero, the godfather of zombie films, with a running time of 2 hours and 7 minutes. During an escalating zombie epidemic. Huh?
That's long for an older
It was. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours, 7 minutes. But especially for the time, even in 1978.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
But when you have a message to tell and you want to tell it right, you take as long as it needs. During an escalating zombie epidemic, 2 Philadelphia SWAT team members, a traffic reporter, and his TV-exclusive girlfriend seek refuge in a secluded shopping mall. I see they never really say that Flyboy is a TV report, is a traffic reporter. I don't know why they say that. It's just because he's Flyboy, because he flies the plane. But it's a zombie film. It's
Helicopter.
Well, they did mention that he has like news credentials for like like traffic reports. That's why he's able to fly the helicopter.
Because he
He's
flies
a helicopter.
Listen. The person that flies the helicopter and the person that does the traffic report are not the same fucking person.
Correct.
because they have to be looking. It's like driving a car. You have to be looking at where you're going, other than looking down at the traffic. Otherwise, you're just going to run into another plane.
Wow.
This is my favorite zombie film ever, which is why I picked it. It's one of the series in the night or in the Dead series. You have Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the
Walking
Dead,
Dead.
Diary of the Dead. Go fuck yourself. That's not part of it.
Walking Dead, Shaun of the Dead.
No, there's legitimately a full series of not connecting stories, but it all takes place within the same universe. It all takes place within the same
timeline. Well, what did you actually think of this on rewatch?
on rewatch. I watched this movie more times than I could count between 2003 and 2006. So I can watch this movie all of the fucking time. There's a reason why I have it tattooed on my wrist. Like,
That's cool. I like it.
you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I have the poster tattooed on my wrist. Like, it's my favorite zombie flick ever. Like, I'd love to meet Tom Savini just to show it to him. You can't show it to George Romero because he's dead. So maybe he's a ghost. Hey, George, here it is. Yeah, I love it. Mikey, the Freak. I would say rewatch for you and or Kevin, but I know that you guys both watched this for the first time. Mikey, the Freak. What are your thoughts?
Savini actually comes to Orlando for Spooky Empires and stuff, so he's been local. This is my first time ever watching the movie. It's not really a hard watch. I needed to focus in a lot more to kind of understand more of the storyline. You understand the premise of it with the, and I don't know if I watched an extended version because when I watched them when they went to the mall, everything was like drug out. Like she was shopping for maternity clothes. They went to that sports store and got all the guns, and like there was a bunch of different scenes where it was just stretched and took forever.
Yeah, he was in the wheelbarrow just eating like olives.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
I guess it's just. I mean, the things that
No,
you
that's
think
the
you
movie.
would do or you wouldn't do during a zombie apocalypse because you're the only 4 people that's in this mall that are alive. It would be crazy though, be in a mall and have all that stuff. But I mean, you got money, you got guns. The guns would be a more important thing, of course. But like
Way
the
more
money,
important than the money.
who cares about money at that point?
I love the
The
scene when
clothes
they're
would be fun. You'd have new clothes, and you don't have disgusting clothes that you gotta walk around in and shit. So I get it. Interesting movie. The makeup was weird. All the zombies are exactly the same in that gray face paint. So however you died, you still. It don't look like any of them were dead, or they got killed, or shot, or car accidents. You kind of try to compare these zombies to other zombies you've seen, like a Walking Dead zombie or something, and it's hard to compare it because it was 40 years ago.
these are the original zombies.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is you're thinking that a zombie should have like face just like falling off. Your lips and your ears are all decayed and stuff.
Because CGI in '78 was all the rage.
Yeah, like all the zombies were the same with the gray face paint. So if you can get over that and understand the era of the movie, I thought the movie was great. I mean, it was a higher end movie I've seen for a zombie flick. It's one of my oldest zombie flicks I've seen that I actually enjoyed. So you kind of put yourself in their shoes on how would you survive? Where would you go? Would you go to a mall? Would you go to a Walmart? Or something to that where you have a lot of amenities around you.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. What about you, Bearded Geek? Same thing?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I agree with you though. I think that there was some parts where it dragged a little too slow. But as far as some of the effects, I didn't mind the effects because I knew you could you could still tell who was a zombie and who was not.
The
Because of
gray
the face.
paint gave it away.
Yeah, yeah. It looked like a powder, like baby powder or something. But
Yeah.
it gave it away, but I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was because you do have to realize that it is a 1970s zombie flick, and you got to realize that the effects aren't going to be the best. So other than some slow spots, this was a pretty good movie. Steve, what would you rate this
But a
movie?
big movie for the 70s.
Yes,
Huge movie for the 70s.
yes,
Other than, when Jason and Freddy start coming out in the early 80s. This was pretty big.
yeah, and I can see where it would be very frightening.
I would easily give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I can watch it all the time, but yeah, the effects aren't the greatest, but they for the time of what they were and what they were doing, I think it's really well. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Easily good, solid flick. Available free for streaming on YouTube. Mikey the Freak.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark. I think I'm going to be an 8. Solid 8. Good movie, good flick. I do want to watch it again to kind of really focus on it. I really wasn't paying attention to a lot of the situations that was going on. But yeah, I think it was something that it definitely worth a rewatch. I'm not sure how many times I would watch it, like Steve, 100 times. I do like to see Tom Savini in movies because they still talk about him to this day at Universal Studios and the horror makeup show. They give him a lot of credit for the knife. If anybody's ever seen it, they always talk about that knife when they start cutting the guest's arm and it slides out and locks into place and it's over their arm. That was created by Tom Savini. So it's always kind of cool to understand and relate and see the person on the screen and be like, oh, that guy's the guy that made that prop. That's pretty cool.
And
You know?
Tom Savini actually runs his own makeup school.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
No, huge. Dawn of the Dead.
yeah.
Always good
Uh,
movies.
I would rate this a 7.5. It was a good flick. It does get a half point for a boob bump there towards the end. So yeah, gotta give credit where credit's due. So yeah, 7.5. Really good flick for what it was. I enjoyed it. I would
Yeah.
recommend. So there you go.
Mhm.
Some facts about these movie. I don't know if they're fun or not, but some facts.
They are fun. Tell us. Tell us how fun they are.
Tom Savini chose the gray color for the zombie skin since Night of the Living Dead was in black and white, and the zombie skin tone was not depicted. He later said it was a mistake because many of them ended up looking quite blue on film.
They did.
Yeah. Extras who appeared in this film were reportedly given $1 in cash, a
I'm
donut,
scared.
and a Dawn of the Dead T-shirt.
It's true.
I got $1 for you.
I got $1. Oh, you gotta fight harder than that. The outdoor scene where hunters, emergency crew, and soldiers are shooting at zombies was done using local volunteers. Several local hunters arrived on scene with their own weapons. The
Oh,
local
shit.
National Guard division showed up in full gear, and the local emergency crew, police, fire, and ambulance were present and all volunteered. So there you go.
That's cool. That's an easy way to be an extra in a movie.
Yeah, those are your facts that could be fun. Steve,
That's the new
w-
segment, folks. Facts
what?
that could be fun.
Yeah, what do we have for soundtrack, homie?
How fun are they?
All of these on the soundtrack, according to IMDb, are uncredited. Even though there is a lot of music in the movie, cosmogony.
Spit it out.
Cos-
Yep, there's going to be a lot of that.
Cosmetology?
Sinstray, because I'm a man. Figment, Mask of Death, Scare Ray 1, Scare Ray 2, Desert
Yeah, right.
Glance, Dank Earth, Barrage, We Are the Champions, Ragtime Razzmatazz, Tango Tango, Fugger Rock, Sun High, Dramaturgy,
Bugger rock.
Confado, Ice Flow 9, The Gonk, Waiting for the Man, Motives, Violence, Ivado, Vito, Esparo, and Face at the Window.
Down at Fogger Rock. All right,
Bag
Mikey.
rock. Dun, dun, down at Bag rock.
Mikey the Freak, what do we have for related reels, sir?
Jeez, we have so much time on our hands. A lot of these actors. I mean, I pulled out some movies. Some of them you might recognize. Some of you might not. They didn't really have lustrous careers. Some of them only had one of them only did 5 films before they just completely stopped acting or did something else. David, I guess MG is might be how you pronounce his last name. Um, Basket Case 2, Hellmaster, The Liberation of Cherry Janowski, and then just one other film. That's all he did was 5 films. Scott Reiniger, or Reiniger maybe, he played Roger. He was, of course, the new Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 version. He did come back.
For
The
a 15-second cameo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't think it was long. The Other Victim, and Night Riders. So that was another movie. And then Ken Foree, which is probably the most notable one that I recognized at first. Um, he was in Halloween, Water for Elephants, The Devil's Rejects. So he did a lot more notable movies out of everybody out of that entire movie. So
He also did the Keenan and Kel show. Keenan.
yeah, he did a lot of well known
That's
stuff.
more my age than you old guys.
And if you look, he was in almost every television show from the 80s to the 90s, like Scarecrow and Mrs. King. Um, what was it? Up to Family Matters. I mean, you name an 80s television show like that, he had one episode in. So his face was out there, just didn't do a lot of movies.
All right. Well, as we come to a close, make sure you check out the sister channel to Back to the Retro Review, the Mod Squad Network, where we have a movie show, horror show, gamer show, conversation show, and we go live every Saturday night with a giveaway. All right. Before you leave, make sure you give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like and subscribe. Do all the YouTuber things. Leave a comment down below. What did you think of this movie? If you've never seen it, go watch it and then
Watch
tell
the
us
movie.
The
what you
shit
think of
you'd
this movie.
forget if we weren't here.
We probably would. I
Yes.
probably would. Yes.
You specifically, Bearded Geek.
Well,
Yes.
you know, that is the end of the show. So. All right. Since that's the end of the show, so for Mikey the Freak and Steve, I am the Bearded Geek saying, if I don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.
Bye.